What's going on, everybody? Good people. Welcome to the After Effects Showtime's College Football Final Week 6. I'm your host, LeBron Stephen, but you can call me LBZ, L Boogie, Big Ron, B, Ron, LB. Ronnie, the choice is yours. I believe this is episode 98, so you know how we do. Let's just dive right in. First of all, on the 12 o'clock games, we had 20 Michigan versus Wisconsin, Big Ten matchup. Michigan was able to pull out the win 24-10. They are now 4-1. I believe they came into the game ranked as the 20th team. I'm sure they'll probably jump up to 16 or 15. Phenom freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood threw for 264 yards. Running back Justice Hayes added 19 carries for 117 yards, 2 touchdowns with a 6.2 yard average. He definitely did his big one. Michigan seems to just continue to get better and better. Bryce Underwood is not throwing for a massive amount of yards, but he's winning games as a freshman. We have to continue to watch him. One 12 o'clock game that kind of stood out to me and I kind of wanted to watch a little bit was the Dabo Swinney versus Bill Belichick battle, Clemson versus North Carolina. Clemson went into North Carolina absolutely massacred North Carolina 38-10. North Carolina definitely got waxed at home, even though they had some legends there. I saw Julius Peppers, I saw Michael Jordan. Right now, North Carolina is 2-3 under Bill Belichick. You know, let me know you all's thoughts on North Carolina. I definitely thought they would look better, but it's interesting to see Bill Belichick in this, in this college football atmosphere, trying to get these young men better. So let me know in the comments what you all think. Let's move on right along to the 3:30 3:30 matchups. The biggest ones, we had number 16 Vanderbilt versus number 10 Alabama, and Alabama was able to get the win again. You know, we keep saying that every week. They was able to get the win 30-14. Quarterback Ty Simpson, which I heard he's a Heisman candidate before the game. He went 23 for 31, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, and unfortunately, he threw his first pick of the season. He had 11 touchdowns coming into the game. Now he has 13 touchdowns, but he did unfortunately throw his first interception of the season. Alabama came in number 10, but I really think, they may move up a few slots to, 7 or 8. Alabama continues to find ways to win games. I mean, it's still early in the season, but Alabama has come to play. Vanderbilt came in undefeated, I believe, at 5-0 and cannot go into Tuscaloosa and get the win. Another game that set out at 3:30 was number 9 Texas at Florida. Texas went down in the swamp, losing 21-29. Quarterback Arch Manning went 16 for 29, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And on the other end, DJ Lagway, Florida's quarterback, went 21 for 28, 298 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I thought Florida defense played really well. Ball hawking Arch Manning, forcing him to throw 2 interceptions. So I guess the biggest question and, small caveat, the after effect of week 6 is Texas still going to be ranked? That's 2 losses now. They did lose that first game versus, Ohio State in the close matchup. But let's be honest, Texas has just not played up to par. They just haven't played the way that, most people or fans thought Texas would play coming into the season. So I definitely think Arch Manning is going through some growing pains, right? He hasn't found his consistency yet, right? Especially versus better competition. I mean, I think we all are interested to see how he's going to continue to play and how he's going to continue to get better, versus better SEC teams. Florida came in unranked. I believe they were 1-3, but Florida is a tough team at home in the swamp, and Texas did not get it done. So let's keep a close eye view on Arch Manning and kind of watch his maturation. It's a long season. Also, another 3:30 game we had was number 7 Penn State versus UCLA. Now, when you saw this game on paper, you just kind of knew that Penn State just came off that tough loss to Oregon at home. You just knew that they were going to come out humming to try to get back on that win column, and unfortunately, they lost 37-42. Drew Aller went 19 for 26, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 carries for 78 yards. UCLA quarterback, he's been massively in the media. I don't want to butcher his last name. Nico Awamaleveva. Definitely just butchered that. But he threw for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he was able to get the win. Man, UCLA just jumped out on their ass, and Penn State rallied late, but they just didn't have enough in that fourth quarter, those last few drives to get it done. And kind of what I alluded to with Texas? Will Penn State still be in the top 25? I believe that's that's their second loss versus an unranked team. UCLA came in the game 0-4. They fired their coach. The program from the outside looking in, the program seemed like it was in shambles, and UCLA came out there and played their ass off and beat the top 10 team. So Penn State has got a lot of soul searching to do. The head coach over there, Drew Aller, I believe he's either redshirt senior or redshirt junior. He's going to have to lead that team and get them, back in that win column, and continue to make sure they fight every week and not just give up their season. And last, but certainly not least, in that 7:30 slot, we had number 3 Miami versus number 18 Florida State. Massive ACC game. Miami was able to eke out with the win 28-22. Carson Beck, playing a phenomenal game, going 20-27, 241 yards and 4 touchdowns. Wide receiver Malachi Tony had 7 catches for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. And on the other side, Thomas Castellanos for Florida State, 25 for 45, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns. But he threw 2 interceptions at home. He also carried the ball 16 times for 57 yards. I just thought that Castellanos had too many turnovers at home. Tallahassee is a tough place to play, but if you're turning the ball over at home, it is going to be tough to be the top 3 team in Miami. And so, let's just take a look at some of Carson Beck's, touchdowns. He had 4 touchdowns. He only had 7 incompletions. So let's just take a look. This is touchdown number 1. Play action, slant, easy peasy. Get busy. Number 7, got to get busy. But I mean, that's just very easy. Look at that route, faked out. Slant in, easy peasy. Trick play, flea flicker, put the ball right on the money to Malachi Tony, touchdown. Now, get the replay. A lot of quarterbacks may have underthrew this ball. Okay, now we see Carson getting mobile, getting some yards. So, so that's kind of something that we saw that was different last year versus Georgia. Carson Beck did not run as much, but now he looks to be a lot more. Ooh, number 10, getting busy again. And then pulls away. I believe that was a comeback. So first you got a flea flicker. You don't have to break stride. Okay, let's look at the replay. Now we got the comeback. Easy comeback. Catch and go. And he gone. Touchdown. Man, I got to say, man, Malachi Tony played his ass off. He had one hell of a game. Now we got the screen. Busy again. I believe this is 3rd touchdown or 4th touchdown. So, I mean, I really thought Carson Beck, let's look at the replay. Screen. Perfectly executed. Every man got a hat on another hat on a Florida State hat. Easy touchdown. So I really thought Carson Beck just did a great job of executing plays right on offense. He had a bevy of different touchdowns. He had the play action slant. He had the trick play, the flea flicker, put it on the money. Malachi did not have to lose stride at all. He had another just a simple comeback trying to move the chains, and Malachi did the rest. And then on that last play, he had the screen call. The offense executed all of their blocks, another touchdown. So, man, I thought Carson Beck played his ass off. I feel like he was definitely kind of player of the week in week 6. And so that is essentially all we had on the docket. So what is the after effect of week 6? Kind of like I said earlier, will Texas stay ranked? That's their second loss versus an unranked team. Will Penn State stay ranked? That's their second loss to an unranked team, an 0-4 team. So I kind of think those are the after effects. 2 more. How consistent can Miami be? Right? They continue to get wins. They continue to look better and better every week. How can Carson Beck lead those guys? How can Mario Cristobal, head coach at Miami, keep these guys focused to go 1-0 every week? And then obviously didn't really talk about the Ohio State game, but Ohio State went out for homecoming weekend at Clobbered, Minnesota. I think the final score was 30-something to 6. So same deal in Columbus, right? How can Ryan Day keep those guys going 1-0, keep those guys focused? It's a long season. And, I think I spoke about Ohio State playing Michigan in week 8 during week 1 or week 2. But now it's kind of looking like a completely different diaspora with Penn State dropping 2 and losing to unranked 0-4 UCLA. So hopefully Ohio State keeps balling. But that is all I have. If you are watching this episode on YouTube, please subscribe to LeBron Dame TV. If you are listening to this wherever you get your pods, please subscribe to the After Effects show. We will continue to drop college football final every week of the college football season. Definitely leave us some comments, give us some suggestions if you want to see the show bring some additions, if you want to see something that took out. But till the next time, I'll see you all next week. Peace.